Yeah. Coriander. Hello everyone. I was getting out some spices for lunch. I am hungry. Today's video is going to be a food video. I recently bought, when I went Christmas shopping for my treats, I bought coriander and cardamom. Unbelievably, I've never used these before, but I've seen them a lot in the cooking shows I like to watch, so I'm going to try them. The cardamom smells like it'd be more for maybe like sweeter, not savory, so I'll put that up. But this coriander, I think a little of that will be perfect in today's meal. So today I'm going to be making something that I made for my dad, which I got the idea from Swedish Meatballs, believe it or not. My dad loves Swedish Meatballs. I remember in Alaska as a child, he used to make them. He would just use like a packet of seasoning though, and would just put it with some hamburger, right? And then just put it over some rice. So it was more like a hamburger helper Swedish Meatballs. So recently, a few years ago, for a holiday, maybe Thanksgiving, here I am fondling the sweet potato. Recently, for a holiday, I made, from a recipe, it was like authentic Swedish meatballs, supposedly more authentic. And they were so freaking good. I mean, like, unbelievably good. And I loved them, and I loved the flavor of them. So I took that concept and put it with sweet potato and chicken. And I'm gonna make a sweet potato chicken, I don't know what to call it. Swedish sweet potato and chicken. I'm calling it that. So for this, it's very simple. It's healthy to the extent of I'm going to use a little oil. You don't even have to. I'm sure you could probably cook it in water in a non-stick pan. Sweet potato. As I said, I'm going to try coriander, allspice, and nutmeg. You don't need both, but if you have them, let me smell, hold on. I would say the nutmeg is more important, but they're good for both. You want both if you can. And then of course some salt, and the garlic's optional. When I made it for my dad, I left out the garlic because he didn't like garlic. He didn't really like a lot of seasonings. That's why I had to try new things, you know, for him. But the garlic I'm adding in for sure now. And then a chicken breast. So wash your sweet potato really good and grate it. You don't have to be, I'm just using this cheese grater. It's so good. It's microplane. It, like, you know, but they have like probably thicker vegetable grater ones. I should look into it so I don't ruin this for my cheese. But you want it to be in like you don't want to chop it because that'd be too, I mean, I guess you could. You want it to be thin to cook quickly, like right now in just a few minutes. You don't want to have to, like, you know, make it potato-y. You don't want it to get soggy. So I'm just going to grate it. Okay, I grated the sweet potato. And now I'm just going to cube the chicken. I always make my chicken the same way. Cubes. And that's why they always say like 1-inch cubes. Is because if you cut it too small, it's going to cook too quickly and be overcooked by the time the rest of your, you know, cooking is done. And if it's too big, they're going to have to also cook too long in order to get the center cooked. So you just want them in nice cubes. I went ahead and turned the pan on because you're going to want to heat it up. What we're going to do is we're going to cook the sweet potato first until they're soft but not totally cooked. You don't want them cooked. And then we're going to take them out of the pan because if you put the chicken in with the sweet potato, the chicken isn't going to have that nice sear that we're going to want on each side. It's not going to turn all brown and yummy because the sweet potato will be in the way. So we got to take the sweet potato back out of the pan before we cook the chicken. Let's do this. Oh yeah, that's a lot of sweet potato. Should've got the bigger pan out. Oh well, it's too late. It's too late. Turn back time. So, I've been thinking a lot of the last week when my dad was dying. Well, not like a lot, but something specific is that, which I don't think I told you guys. I might have, I don't remember. Where's my spatula? He was going on about the food that he wished he could have right now. Right then. I remember, I'll never forget, man. He was like thinking about foods. Like the first week and a half that he was sick, he had me get Chinese and pizza and whatever was around, you know, and I didn't really, I guess, think about, like, because we didn't, you know, think about him, like, dying. But, the second week, right before the third, when I guess he maybe knew or just thought, he would be talking about, like, fried chicken. I'd hear him in his room. He's like, man, fried chicken, so hot, be so good. And he's talking about lasagna and all kinds of foods. And it made me realize even more that even if you are trying to eat healthy or live healthy or not eat bad, you don't want to be thinking of all these things that you didn't eat when you could have. You know, you have to still live your life and enjoy it and have treats here and there. It's more of self-control of how many and when. But eat those things that you're craving, that you think of, you know, and do it, live. So I'd put oil, and I'm just kind of cooking this. I'm about, oh, no water in there. I'm about to cover it. I'm just put a tiny bit of water in there, only a little, because it'll make its own moisture in a minute. I just don't want it to burn. And I'll put a tiny bit of salt. And that looks like a lot, but it's not for the lot of sweet potato, that is. And then I'm just going to let it cook for just a few minutes and get tender. It's probably only been like 2 or 3 minutes. But the smell has changed. And it smells like cooked sweet potato, almost burning. So let's check it. Which is what we want. Because you don't want to let the moisture out, and a little bit of burntiness is what is good. It'll keep it a nice texture for this chicken dish. Basically, and what I'm saying is it won't be a soggy mess, like if you just mushed it all up, you know? Perfect. So I'm just going to dump these potatoes out. That is easier said than done with a heavy pan, man. Woo, that's heavy. Oh, mother. Oh, my wrist. Got sweet taters. Got sweet taters. Put some more oil in the pan. Oh yeah. Put the chicken in. And don't touch it. It's so hard not to stir it, but you want it just to sizzle for like a minute and sear it. Oh yes, very nice. Come on, flip. Salt. Coriander. Garlic. I'm going to wait and add these when the potatoes are added. Just go ahead and let it sit until you can't hardly see that much pink left. As usual, you want to almost cook it, but not totally cook it, because once you add the potatoes in there and it keeps cooking, it'll cook more. But also the important thing, like with chicken and meats, is that once you take it off the heat, it's still going to continue to cook inside because it's hot. You got to add those extra minutes into it. And if you cook it fully and then take it off the heat, or add the potatoes and then cook it, it's going to be overcooked and that's not delicious. Oh, it's looking good. I think it's time. sure all that chicken's broken up. Oh yeah. We're gonna go more salt, some allspice, some nutmeg, it smells so delicious. Make sure you stir it up good. And it's done. It looks so good. I always check the thick piece of chicken to make sure. There's nothing worse than turning it off and thinking you're ready and it's not cooked. Yep, it's cooked. So that's it. It's so delicious. It's like a perfect thing with fall flavors. Almost like a pumpkin pie would be or something. Just don't add cinnamon. You would have a chicken pumpkin pie. But it's I hope you guys enjoy, and thank you as always for watching.